Well, namaste and welcome. It's good to see all of you here. We have a few people out ill this week, and hopefully next week they'll be back with us. We had a few questions that people had sent in for topics from the online ashram, so that's what we're going to address today. We had three things. One of them I can't remember what it is, and so it may not get brought up today if nobody remembers it. But the first one was somebody had asked about money. How are things with money after realization? What is the view of money after realization? And does one continue forward with wanting to gather and collect, or does one really have nothing to do with it? So the answer to that is actually neither. One is neither gathering and collecting and wanting to grasp after money, but neither is it pushed away. Because one loses nothing with realization, okay? One has no aversion to working, so one will continue to work, and when work, one gets remuneration back for working. Okay, so one enjoys life and living, and they give seva, whether it's seva through their job or it doesn't matter where the seva is from. So in that field, that you will continue to have money, but it's not something, oh, I need to go out and I need to make my X amount of dollars. It's not that, you know, you're salivating after anything that you're going to be driving after to get the money for, okay? I see somebody is having a problem with the incense, so we'll get rid of it for now. So yeah, there's nothing there as a driving factor any longer, nor is it being pushed away. Okay, money is an incidental. It comes along with whatever you're doing, whatever your job is. It comes. Okay, so there is neither grasping or pushing away when it comes to monetary things. Yeah, I think people have a mistaken notion about what it means to be still, and one is not attached. That all of a sudden after realization you're going to want to run away from your job or any of that, and that's not the case whatsoever. One continues with what you're doing, and one enjoys whatever they're doing for what it is. And I think Siddhananda can talk about this. Here she is gone, and she's worked with hospice, been a hospice nurse, went through the path, had a very difficult time with the path, entered realization, and she's still working as a hospice nurse. Okay? So I'll let her say a few words on that. If you want to come over here so people can kind of hear you a little better, that would be better. This doesn't pick up real well across the room.
Might be sitting up too high, huh?
Yeah, we got you like with no head. There, now, yeah, you actually have a head. Head works better.
No head.
No head. Headless. Well, we're headless, all right, but not quite headless without a body for. So right. Yeah, headless consciousness. So, so if you wanted to address that a bit, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, work goes on just the same, and it's just that it's within flow, which is very different than before. I mean, there's no distinction between being at home or anywhere that you're at compared to being at work. It's just all the same flow. And, you know, in terms of the money thing, it's not thought about. It's just something that comes, like Guruji was saying, as a secondary thing. I mean, it's not, when there's no doer in place, the money is there and things get taken care of, but it's not a driving kind of force in terms of, you know, I've got to make more, or I have too much or too little.
I'm not going to be happy with what I have, therefore I have to get more, and it's never that type of a thing.
Right. And there's no identity created around it or the job, and there's no identity in place, that, you know, no solid identity in place. So it's all within flow, and things just take care of themselves as they come up. That's the difference. Before, I think, before realization, there was being at home and then there was work. And they were two different things. And now there's no separation between work and being at home and taking care of family. And it's not thought about, and it just, you know, it flows, and what is needed comes at the time.
Right. It just comes under more, one can say, another part of the flow of consciousness, what one is involved in. It's not another separate thing. I've got my work, I've got my home, I've got my, you know, nothing is compartmentalized any longer. It's all just the flow of consciousness. And so there is no stress saying, oh, this is my work, you know. It's none of that. It's life. Everything is just the flow of life. Whether I'm on the computer and working with people day in and day out from morning till night doing seva, or whether I'm out doing something else, having something else, which is an action. Lately I've been looking at properties and running from day to night, and I get home and then I do all of the internet, all the mails, all the online ashram stuff, and I go to bed, you know. But there's no feeling of, oh, this is separate from that, or this is more than that, or this is less than that. It's none of that.
There's no distinction.
There's no distinctions. No distinctions. It's just, you know, flow. Just part of living. And it's all quite fine with what it is. It doesn't mean that if I'm working on the internet that I feel like I'm missing out something somewhere else. Okay? There's no sense of feeling you're missing out, or, oh, I'd rather be doing something else other than what I'm doing now. There's no feeling of that I need to do something else in order to be happy. It's not that.
There's a contentment no matter where you are. There's a contentment, and it doesn't have to do with circumstances or a particular place. There's just that inner contentment and peace that remains no matter, I don't even want to say where you're at, because there's no you, but it's just there. And that presence, that contentment is unwavering. So it's not about what the circumstances are. It's a total shift in consciousness that, irregardless of the circumstances, remains. So there's no separation between, you know, work and whatever else is being done, and when there's no doer in place. Completely different consciousness than what takes place prior to realization. Much more of a struggle within doership. There's no struggle or conflict within about, right, this is what I'm going to do now, and then I'm going to do this.
Right, and we're gonna stop this here at this moment because we're coming up on 10 minutes, and so we need to start.